Hi students, I already discussed about Kirchhoff's laws, that is Kirchhoff first law and second law. Now I am discussing about Kirchhoff application, that is Wheatstone bridge. This circuit consists of four resistors, that is P, Q, R and S. Here P resistor is placed in between point A and point B, and Q resistor is placed in between point B and point C, and S resistor is placed in between point C and D, and R resistor is placed in between point A and point D. Here the galvanometer is connected in between B and D. Galvanometer is a device which is used to measure current very accurately. Battery and switch are connected in between point A and point C. The current is passes from positive terminal to negative terminal. Now the current is passes from positive terminal, that is current I. After reaching the point A, the current I is splits into two parts, that is I1 and I2. Current I1 is passes through the resistor P, reaches the point B. At point B, the current I1 splits into two parts, one is Ig and other one is I3. Now I2 current passes through the resistor R and reaches the point D. At point D, I2 current and Ig current are combined and form I4 current. I4 current is passes through the resistor S and reaches the point C. I3 current passes through the resistor Q and reaches the point C. Now the current I4 and I3 are combined at point C and the current I is passes through the negative terminal. In this way, the current is passes from positive terminal to negative terminal. Now we are applying the Kirchhoff first law to Wheatstone bridge. Kirchhoff first law. The algebraic sum of the currents meeting at any junction in a circuit is equal to 0. This is called Kirchhoff first law. Applying Kirchhoff first law to the junctions B and D. If the current is in clockwise direction, it is considered as a positive sign. If the current is in anti-clockwise direction, it is considered as a negative sign. Current I1 is in clockwise direction, so it is plus I1. Galvanometer current, that is Ig, is in anti-clockwise direction, so it is minus Ig. I3 is in anti-clockwise direction, that is minus I3. I1 minus Ig minus I3 is equal to 0. This is the first equation. Current I2 is in clockwise direction, so it is plus I2. And now at point D, the galvanometer current is in clockwise direction, that is plus Ig. Now the current I4 is in anti-clockwise direction, that is minus I4. I2 plus Ig minus I4 is equal to 0. This is the second equation. In this circuit, the bridge is balanced when the galvanometer current is equal to 0. Now substituting Ig is equal to 0 in equation 1, we get I1 minus I3 is equal to 0. That implies I1 is equal to I3. Now substituting Ig is equal to 0 in equation 2, then we get I2 minus I4 is equal to 0. That implies I2 is equal to I4. Now applying Kirchhoff's second law to the closed loop ABD and BCD, then we get Kirchhoff's second law. In any closed circuit, the algebraic sum of the potential difference is equal to 0. This law is also called as loop law. Now we are applying the Kirchhoff's second law to the closed loop ABD. Current I1 is passes in clockwise direction with resistor P, that is I1P. Galvanometer current is also passes in clockwise direction, that is IgG. Current I2 is passes with resistor R in anticlockwise direction, that is minus I2R. I1P plus IgG minus I2R is equal to 0. Now applying Kirchhoff's second law to the closed loop BCD. Current I3 passes through resistor Q in clockwise direction, that is I3Q. Galvanometer current is passes in anticlockwise direction, so it is minus IgG. Current I4 is passes through the resistor S in anticlockwise direction, that is minus I4S. I3Q minus IgG minus I4S is equal to 0. This is fourth equation. The bridge is balanced when the galvanometer current Ig is equal to 0. Now we are substituting Ig is equal to 0 in equation 3. Then we get I1P minus I2R is equal to 0. That implies I1P is equal to I2R. Now substituting Ig is equal to 0 in equation 4, then we get I3Q minus I4S is equal to 0, which implies I3Q is equal to I4S. From the above equations, that is equation 3 and equation 4, I1P by I3Q is equal to I2R by I4S. From equation 1 and 2, we get I1 equal to I3 and I2 equal to I4. LHS part, that is I1P by I3Q. In place of I1, we are replacing I3. Then we get I3P by I3Q. I3 are cancelled. Then we get P by Q in LHS part. Now coming to RHS part, I2R by I4S. In place of I4, we are replacing I2. Then we get I2R by I2S. I2 are cancelled. Then we get R by S in RHS part. P by Q is equal to R by S. This condition is called Wheatstone bridge condition. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please subscribe for more videos.